it and don't want to believe it. Angels are not the greatest teachers at all. They didn't come here to teach. They can bring you and protect you and show you things, but they're not going to be your greatest teacher. The spiritual guide is a being that works with people in an experience that it knows. Because every spirit, every angel, every deity has a different awareness. So meaning if you want to learn about cars, you're not going to go to a baker. You want to learn how to bake a cake, you're not going to go to an ice skater or something. You go to a being or an entity but you don't know. So what I'm saying is you have to be able to determine when something comes to you, your guide, whatever that's going to be, is real, and are they really going to help you take the next step? Now, without the protection, anything that comes to you will say basically whatever you want them to say. I learned that through hypnosis when I work with people, and I got in a debate with somebody about that. You hypnotize the beings around them, and they all want to talk. Everybody everywhere wants to talk in lower realms. And when you do it with your angel guide, where do you think they're going to take you? Well, take me to the museum. Take me to where they make food here. What do they do here? The best thing is find out if you're really connected to God and spirit. And there's a law that exists, and when I say spiritual laws exist in the spiritual world. The spiritual laws can work in the physical world, but not the same. Spiritual world, no entity, no being in that form can say they are God. So how do you prove that there's a God? It's simple. Because if Lucifer or one of his demons or some creature or entity was coming towards you, and you see them, now they're going to take an image in your mind that you can receive and accept. Most entities are not going to come to you super ugly looking and shoot flame at you and all that kind of stuff. They're going to come to you in a way that you perceive them as a friend. But in that moment, soul is aware. Soul can see their aura and see everything. But you're not used to seeing people's auras or energy and things like that. So it's not going to work. So what I suggest when I say people, if you have a faith, how strong is it? What is your protection in life? God, Spirit, Jesus, angels, what angel? Most people that work with angels are working with an entity. Because when they say, well, I talk to this angel, you think an angel has nothing to do with come down here and say, hey, it's going to be rainy tomorrow. So that's not what they do. That's not what they ever did. They did bring incredible messages, warnings. So a guide, getting back to what I said, they're beings that decided to stay in the astral plane, work with people, with what they feel good about working with. I can go into detail because I just had an incredible story told to me from one of my good friends and him and his wife. His wife died. She's on the astral plane and he's here. He was one of the top psychics I knew, and he works with her, and she's working with children on the astral plane. And that's not a big thing because there's not many children there. Well, there's all these children dying. Well, in the astral plane, soul doesn't have a body. So it chooses the body of the age that it likes the most. I'm telling you, most people, most beings there are between 26 and 36. They look the best, they feel the best in the physical world, so they take that idea. That's what they want to be. Do you want to be an old man in a wheelchair in the astral plane? Oh, no, I got a new body. Well, you got a new body. So, yeah, make it look and feel the best it can. So, now, when this being comes to you and says, what do you want? And you'll say, well, who are you? if you can't determine who or what it is by what it looks like, you would ask it a question, right? Now, if you don't know what it looks like or what it's supposed to look like, go ahead, what was it?
Is that when, like what you just mentioned, is that when you would normally ask, like, I'm asking you, like, in the name of God, are you telling me, like, the truth or not?
That's exactly when you would. You would say,
okay.
And the first thing you would say, in the name of God, if you're not of God, be gone. Because anything outside of that that's not working with that, you do not want to know.
Okay.
Because realize how many beings, and I mean, people are even aware of how many races there are and things like that. Here, in this dimension, there's thousands and more dimensions of beings and people and stuff. So, like I said, you're not going to know what an angel's supposed to look like, or whether they're going to have wings. No. You're going to have a halo around them. No. All the things you're programmed. And that's why I say people are so programmed to believe it, and they do accept it. So when this being comes to you, the first place you go to, what soul feels, what you truly feel. Remember, you don't have a heart, you don't have a liver, a kidney, a nervous system in the physical reality. So what do you feel? What do you feel in your own awareness? If it feels negative, yes, you say, please, in the name of God. If you're not of God, be gone. Or we're all of God. No, we're not. We don't work with that. That's why planet Earth exists. That's why the astral plane exists. Everything that grows and becomes closer to God becomes more God-like. So if you're picking an angel or a deity or a spiritual guide, you got to see that they have the utmost protection for you. Because what they're going to teach you, if they're real, is going to help you take your next step. If they're not, you will not go anywhere except to what fantasies they play with. So every entity, every deity has an idea of truth which they have attained the same as you attain. But if Spirit allows them to take that role, which an angel, a deity, and a master will take. I was just telling somebody, because of that, many masters of different religions and paths choose people that they work with because that person's open to that energy. Now, like Jesus versus Buddha versus somebody from the Egyptian times to a deity, they're going to pull people from what they feel that they can work with. The deity is not going to work with anybody. An angel will come, but will they stay and teach anybody anything? Probably not. Now, these beings that decide to spend their astral life for a period of time, they can let go of that job whenever they decide to. But if they take on a bunch of people, they'll stay with them. And you usually have one more. I don't think I've ever met one person that had one guide on Inner Worlds. Not that you know them, not that you ever become super aware of them in most cases, but you can. And when you do, it's much easier to work with somebody or something when you're aware of it. I mean, I'm being protected. If you know you have a guide and you don't know the guide, you're being protected, but there's a lot missing. I mean, I had 3 to begin with. One of them was kind of hooded and dark, and I never knew who or what it really was. But it was always there. So when you challenge it, know, and you have to know that if it's not good, it'll be gone. The same as when you start leaving the body, which is the biggest fear of a lot of people, why they don't do it. Or if I get out of my body, how do I get back? And you know what's funny? And I find it's funny. You might not, but people might not. But the old days, I mean, Shirley MacLaine was one of the first people to go public talking about this. Then she mentioned the silver cord. Well, nobody mentions the silver cord. I don't think anybody mentioned it in the past 20 years. I do. Because you are connected with that to the astral body. What helps keep us in this place where we can get back to the body no matter what's going on. The other thing is, it doesn't allow you to go further than that. I don't know how much I don't remember the movie that great. I watched it twice, I think. But what she experienced and how far it let her go. And the medicine woman I studied with told me, if you cut the silver cord, you'll die. I debated it many times, but I let it go. I did cut my cord. To get out of the astral plane, you need to break that cord. It's like one of those stick paddles with the string with the ball on it. Keep hitting it as hard as you want, and it'll go out and come back. Cut the cord, the ball will go flying away. So it's that simple. But if you're going to do that, you need to be aware of those abilities and what and how things function on the astral plane. Because we're going to go further than that. You're going to need some guide in the next realm beyond that. It's kind of back and forth with teachers, masters, and angels and beings and all that. Until you get to the highest, which is the soul plane for soul. Yes, when you start having that experience, you change it. And once you find out it feels right, don't start forcing them to take you anywhere. Because they chose you for a reason. I'm not going to say aliens choose a person on this planet for a reason and then they come and abduct them. But they choose you because they know what you're going through. And they went through it. And they're going to guide you and bring you to your next level. Whether they stay with you or pass you on to the next being or angel, whatever. Not angel, spirit guide. Will be different. Some stay with you until you get to the highest plane. Ones that attain that level, that really choose to stay in this lower realm, it's choice. Well, they're compassionate, loving beings. No, soul was created for itself. Now, here's an abstract. God grows everything every single person learns. Well, God's aware it doesn't change. No, it changes. Why would you believe to create dinosaurs for a long period of time, take them away, put new life forms there? Why would it create giants and then create little people? But it does grow from these experiences. So imagine it grows from every being, from every universe, every realm. So the idea that you could ever catch up to God or be equal to God is an impossibility. I mean, if everybody else in all the realms died and you were the only person left, it would be a different story. But all these souls don't die, and they keep trying to move forward. So all that wisdom, knowledge, and growth among them goes back into God. And God keeps an eye on that. That's what it's more concerned with than what you're going to do today, what you're going to do tomorrow, how many people you help today, and all those kind of things. Remember when I was a little kid, they said, here's your doobie medal. You know, I'd spit on their finger and rub it on you and say, that's for a good deed or whatever. Well, people think they get rewards for whatever they do. Soul is an active entity, being. It doesn't get rewarded in the way we perceive it to be. It's just allowed to get closer to what it came from, meaning closer to God. With that comes more abilities, more realities. So when you go into these different realities, worlds, realms, each one of them is incredible. The astral plane is kind of like going to Disney World or something like that. Oh, the rides are cool, people, it's fun, and the candies and desserts and all that. We're going to the zoo and seeing the animals and feeding the animals. It's an experience. But it's just that. And it's not going beyond the programmed ideas of the mind, which is the astral plane, and going into the mental plane, where mind has to be overcome. You start letting go of those things. Well, marriage is important, having children is important. I'm not saying that you're going to let go of it in a physical reality, because you're still connected to the physical body. When you let go of the physical body, you're not going to be very much help to the souls in the physical world. Or the angels are what you're